Thank you for tuning in to Quality Violent Cinema. We got a special guest here from Brazil. We have...
Gurcius Gewdner. It's happy to be here.
Yeah, and you're part of the Bohagia production, right? And there's two different ones, right? This was Cannibal Films, and then there's Bohagia. So how long have both of those been around?
Yes, Cannibal Films. They make movies in the south of Brazil. Me too. But at the moment, I live in Rio de Janeiro. They make movies since the beginning of the 90s. I was when they began to make movies, I was a child. So in 1998, I began to collaborate with them. In 2003, we were totally together making movies. So when I began to work with Cannibal Films, they already have 13 years, 15 years, something like that. They are making movies since 1991. Mm-hmm. So it's 1996, 2003. It's the moment that I begin to make my own movies too.
Yeah.
So
that pollution documentary.
I make one short. I spend all the years 1997 and 1998 until 2003 only filming in VHS with no money, with friends, any budget. In 2003, I began to make the editing. I didn't have a place to make the editing. In 2003, I get that, so I begin to release the movies in the world. So is that in 2003? It's where I begin to make my movies for real, editing and releasing. And it's also the year where I began to make movies with Peter Beiersdorf in a very close partnership. Yeah, and it's happening until now.
Yeah, no, and I dig all that stuff, the Zombie O2 and everything you did with, it's all good stuff. So what are some of the biggest influences in your filmmaking style?
Oh, that's lots of influence. My influences began with music. I decided to make movies inspired by the spirit of do-it-yourself, punk hardcore. I'm discovering that word, the underground word, the word of underground music. In the 90s, there was a very strong underground music scene where I live, from all kinds of musical styles, punk rock, death metal, everything was happening. And I was kind of a part of everything. I had musical projects too. So I began making independent music, making experimental music. I am a big fan of grindcore, punk rock, hardcore.
You like power violence?
I begin to live in that world. So my first influence is music. Punk rock, do it yourself. So with that in mind, I begin to make movies. And when I begin to make movies, my influences are also all the things I'm discovering at the time. I can, for sure, the New York underground of the 80s are very important to me. Filmmakers like Richard Kern, Nick Zed, Lydia Lunch as an actress. The American underground from the 60s also. John Waters, the Kusher brothers, Jonas Mekas. I'm discovering all those filmmakers, and I realized that I can make movies with very little amounts of money. So I think more even more than that horror movies that I also love very much. But when I discovered the movies of those guys, like Nick Zed, Richard Kern, the Kusher brothers, I feel that I can make punk rock movies, that I can make movies with my friends, with no money, with any support that I have, a VHS camera, anything that I had in my hands, I can make a movie. So first I begin making those movies that they are not splatter movies. They are only cheap movies. They are punk rock movies. They are simple as making a song. So as the years came by, we begin to make movies with more special effects, more eschatology, and all of this it's happening at the same time that I'm working with Peter Beiersdorf. So, and he is totally immersed on splatter movies, on effects, but he also likes very much of experimental cinema. So he also likes to make simple movies with strange ideas, just using a camera and your bizarre friends running naked in the woods or anything that you can film.
Yeah, I see both of you have influence from like Coffin Joe and stuff like that too, and
yes, of course. It's I can talk all night about the influence, of course, because there are always different things coming into that mix that makes my head and my movies, and so the influences never stop. In 2022, I feel different influences that I had in 2003, but in Brazil, we also have filmmakers that have that spirit of underground American cinema from the 60s and 70s. Here we have Coffin Joe, and we have a full list of filmmakers from the 70s. They are very inspiring for us, and they are not very known outside Brazil. That's a shame, because they are very interesting and very
seems very rich.
radical.
Yeah, a lot of art form, a lot of rich. It just shows the culture a lot in the films, and just how rich the culture is.
Very violent movies sometimes, lots of erotic movies, and very experimental too. Coffin Joe is very experimental, and there's a lot of filmmakers doing all kinds of crazy stuffs with movies, with sound, with the editing, with light, everything.
Yeah. So when it comes to tribute, you do a lot of things in tribute. So like Cat in the Brain, I Spit on Your Grave, Possession. I also saw a little Valley in the Week of Wonders. You kind of throw some influences for there, which I absolutely love that film. Is there any? Do you tend to want to keep to that consistent in all your films, or do you think that you're going to keep kind of adding little small tributes to old films?
I'm not sure, because when I think on we are talking about, for example, Good Morning Carlos or Pazucus, right? Good Morning Carlos, there's homages to Cat in the Brain, Possession. Pazucus, there's tributes to Creature of the Haunted Sea, Long Weekend, the Australian movie. But I think with these two movies, I had the chance to make that. It's not because I have a small budget, but I had a budget and I had a good photographer. So I had the time to make those tributes, to think about them. Sometimes in movies in the past, I didn't have that time to make the things so directly, just like I did in those. But at the same time, I always thinking of something. Sometimes it's not so direct. I can think about, I don't know, Nosferatu, but it's not on the screen directly. So in Good Morning Carlos and Pazucus is there. People can see that I'm thinking about Fulci, that I'm thinking about Zulawski, and all, Roger Corman, all those influences. I really believe that I will keep doing that every time that I had the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But that depends. That I can make, how much money I have, all those problems that can happen. But in the movies that I'm planning to do for the next years, all those movies, I keep doing that. I keep mixing different cinematic universes in those movies. I like to do that. It's my love letters for the artists and the movies that I like.
Yeah, and
all my movies are love letters.
Yeah.
So,
and even though there's like definitely comedy, you definitely show like a good tribute to it. It's not in like any way shows like a disrespect, because sometimes when you feel like it's not a parody, you're not like, it's more of like, you can tell it's like a tribute to it, which is hard to do.
Sometimes it's just like I said, sometimes it's not clear on the screen what I'm doing, in which filmmaker I'm thinking, or which movie I'm thinking. Sometimes I recreate a movie angle, something more that the audience will not see with their eyes if they don't know the movie that I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, it's like it's some kind of a study.
Mm-hmm.
I always studying the movies that I love and trying to put them in my work also.
Yeah, that's how you learn, is taking those and learning those and then maybe improving on it or making it your own.
Yeah. Or mixing,
mm-hmm.
and trying to make different, sometimes destroying a little, or even mixing two different things together, mm-hmm. two different cinematic words together. Mm-hmm. Pink Flamingos and Long Weekend, mm-hmm. the same characters, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel Brazil has a certain style that is unique to the rest of the world when it comes to extreme cinema?
Yes, for sure. I think it's evolving style. So we have different time zones. As I said, you have those filmmakers in the 70s doing surreal, crazy, experimental movies, aggressive movies. In the 80s, the things changed a little. And in the last decade here in Brazil, we have an increase of filmmakers making horror movies, trying to think about genre cinema, mm-hmm. trying to think about horror movies, science fiction. For a long time, when you talk about horror movies in Brazil, for example, everyone thinks about Coffin Joe. There's other filmmakers in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. But in the last 10 years, we have lots of filmmakers. And all of them, they have different styles. So you have guys like me or Peter Beiersdorf. We are more, I don't know how to put it in words. We are more anarchic, maybe.
Avant-garde.
More free. Yeah. we are thinking about avant-garde movies and strange movies, and we have a more technical directors like Rodrigo Aragão. You probably know him. He makes zombie movies, and he had the luck to make movies with a good amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they are movies more expensive, with more special effects and stuff like that. I feel that there is a generation of filmmakers. They are thinking about drama also. The movies usually are very serious. They are horror movies, but they're also thinking about drama. I think this is happening in the whole world, maybe, this kind of filmmaking. So here, new generations are doing that. Those crazy filmmakers from the 70s, they were more common in the 70s. Those anarchic and people screaming and running, and this crazy style of using the camera, the lighting. Guys like me, we are a continuation of that. We are continuing that work. It's not everyone that they are interested in that, but for sure, Brazil has a very unique style of filmmaking in the whole decades, in his whole history. Right now, in the country, because of the government we have at the moment, everyone who works with culture, it's having lots of problems. They are destroying all the politics of culture. In the last 10 years, maybe more, kind of between 2006 and 2018. That moment, it's a very incredible moment for Brazil in the arts, because the government was helping the artists. And you see that that result in Brazilian movies playing in festivals all around the world. In the last 4 years, that stopped to happen. They cut everything. So you begin to see less Brazilian movies in the festivals around the world, because or you are making independent with your own money and your friends, or you can do it. So it's not everyone that is, even us, it's very difficult to make movies like that. So it's a time very uncertain that I hope changes soon.
You almost have to,
we have to fight.
Almost have to distribute all your films in another country, or in order to make money, kind of thing, or.
Sorry?
I mean, more like you have to. You end up having to distribute your movies into other countries instead of your own, and so like there's
Yes, I always try to distribute my movies. I always I like to make physical editions for the movies, the DVDs, some of the DVDs that you have, and I always trying to make them be distributed outside Brazil too, of course. It's not very easy sometimes. I had with Pazucus, I think I had a good experience, a good thing, because I think you have the
I do.
This very beautiful edition.
Oh, I know, it's great, and you have there's a lot of people that put their hands in. It was just because a lot of producers, a lot of different people funding it, and
yes. There's if you look on the cover, you see that's people from
like
Japan,
Dead Vision, yeah,
Dead Vision, Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
They all put little amounts of money and grab a a little amount of copies too.
Mm-hmm.
That was very nice to make things like that.
Oh, and it's a gorgeous
I hope to
edition.
do that more often.
Yeah, no, it's really pretty. Speaking of that, you were supposed to do a soundtrack with it. Whatever happened with that? Or you were talking about doing a soundtrack with it?
Soundtrack for which movie?
For Pazucus?
Oh yes. Well, Pazucus, it has original soundtrack.
Oh, does it?
Made by me and a very incredible composer called Lucas Rossetti. He's like the John Zorn from the city where I grew up, and he's very creative, works a lot, and he did original soundtrack. Mm-hmm. But the soundtrack also has music from other places.
Mm-hmm.
So we have everything on the soundtrack of Pazuco. We have Italo disco, we have experimental music, we have all kinds of music. It's something that one of the reasons that I make movies. It's also to have the chance of showing music that I like and use the music that I like. Mm-hmm. But I always try to mix both things, to make our own music and also to put things that I like, and of course to use music from friends for people that I admire. Mm-hmm. So the soundtrack of Pazucus, it's very, very rich, full of all kind of crazy stuff. And you also can hear the original tracks, the songs composed for the movie. Mm-hmm. You can find it on the Spotify and all the platforms.
Oh, that's cool. Because I was curious if it was like a CD release of it.
Physical, a CD release.
Okay. Yes. That's why I was curious about if there was a CD release.
It on vinyl.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since it has so much on it, when you listen, has a lot of content. You can kind of have almost like a similar look to it too, to what the DVD kind of had, and kind of give kind of a similar love.
Yes.
Is it difficult to find people to match with you artistically?
No. It's sometimes it's difficult, okay, but I think I'm very lucky. I have incredible friends, and there's always people interested in making movies with us. I like to make movies with the people that I trust. So it's always a relationship that involves friendship. So I think that is good, and in all those years, I had the luck to achieve that. But it's also because usually we don't make movies with lots of money. But when I get my hands in a good amount of money, I hope to work on the same terms. I hope to work with to have a crew of friends in the technical team, with the actors. I like to know the people that I'm going to work, and I like to have sure that these people are my friends. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult for me to make movie with people that I don't know. I need to know them first. Mm-hmm. Of course, that sometimes you can feel when you have a good feeling with someone. So I don't know, Ligia Marina, she's one of the the stars of Good Morning Carlos and Pazucus. She's the witch in the forest. I met her making a movie. First time we saw in face to face was already filming. But at that moment, I was sure that she was someone to trust, that she was a friend, and someone who have the same thinking that me. I don't like to take any risks in that department. I like to be around people that I sure that they are my friends and that we think that we have the same ideas. So, but usually this is happening. Always, it's always happening. I hope to make movies with more money, and I know when you have more money, sometimes you lose control of all the people that are involved in your film. But even in that moment, I hope to have people that are in love by the project, not only working, not only getting money. People that are really into the passion for each project.
Yeah. Do you think with a bigger budget you would still act in your film?
I don't know. Good question. Maybe yes, maybe not. When I think about movies with more money, usually I don't plan. I try to not include myself in there. Some of the scripts that I write in the last years and that I trying to get funding to make it, those movies usually don't have me in the cast. If they have, probably will be a small part. But when I write Pazucus, for example, I write it knowing that I will be the guy that I am in the movie. So I was conscious of that.
Yeah. Because you've acted in quite a few. It was like 30 different shorts and films you've been in.
Yes. Yeah, because it's fun. I love acting too. It's funny. I love acting in movies that I don't direct because you don't have all the worries.
Yeah, you can just kind of be crazy and just go into the character.
Yeah, you are in there for you want to do your work the right way, but you can have fun.
Yeah.
Your head is more free.
Yeah.
So you are having fun.
Yeah.
It's more easy.
I'm sure when you're acting and directing, you're kind of having to break character, and it can kind of get you out of focus when you have to break character so much.
Yes. Well, for me, it's not difficult to direct and act because, as I said, we are among friends, and for me, it's easy to get on the focus, to know what I want for the camera, and to know what I need to do in front of the camera. But of course, there are lots of improvising. So sometimes I can say to myself, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but we are doing, and I trust my team. So even if I too concentrated in my acting and I forgot a little about the work in the camera, I trust my photographer. So it's easy. It's nice.
What countries outside of Brazil are most popular, or your films most popular?
Let me think. In the US, it's a strange relationship because I already have more than one release, but I don't get too many festivals in the US. So I don't know. It's two different things. There's people releasing my movies for selling, but not so many festivals.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to sell movies
well,
when no one gets to see your stuff, kind of thing.
Yeah. Let me think. In Europe, Denmark, Germany, maybe, Holland, Netherlands, Australia is nice, Mexico, Latin America, Argentina. I was talking with Bayersdorf a few days ago about Latin America. There are lots of countries near from Brazil that we don't have a relationship so strong, and this is awkward. We were talking about we need to change that. We need to make our movies more stronger in countries like I don't know, Uruguay, Bolivia, everything around Brazil. In Peru, they love my movies, the festivals, and they already make homages. I love Peru. And I don't know, France is nice too. Yeah. Not very strong, and this is also a shame, in Japan. But Pazucus had distribution in Japan, so
maybe that'll pick up, because that seems like something that actually fit right into Japan culture a little bit. But have you been to a lot of international film festivals?
Sometimes that I get the opportunity, I love to be in there. Oh, I forgot to talk about Russia.
Yeah, because you did a big film festival over there, right?
Yeah, in the Russia, I don't know why, but they show my movies several times for years and years. So I forgot what you asked now.
Oh, about international film festivals.
Oh, yeah. So when they pay my tickets to be in there, I always go. But it's not all the festivals that do that. So sometimes I get very happy and sad at the same time, frustrated, because France it's a good example. I had lots of screenings in France, but I never had the chance to be there. Bom Dia Carlos get an award in France. The guy who voted for the award, it's a filmmaker that I like very much, Bertrand Mandico. But they didn't have the money to pay my tickets to be in there. So, but I get the chance to be in Texas, in the US, 2015, with Good Morning Carlos, in the House Core Film Festival. I had the chance to be in the Rotterdam Festival 2 times. Always lots of fun. In Russia, they pay my tickets to Russia. That was incredible. It was very unique and strange because it was in 2020, March, at the beginning of the pandemic. So I'm in Russia, and when I came back to Brazil, I was in quarantine. It was like entering a new dimension. When When I go to from Brazil to Russia, there was not quarantine in Brazil. When I came back, everything was closed. So very strange. And well, in person, Rotterdam, Texas, all places in Brazil, but outside Brazil, I think it's Rotterdam and Texas. With me in person, in Russia and Russia. Festivals that show my movies in the whole Europe, but I'm not rich, so oh, your movie it's in England. Oh, okay, but I don't have the money, so I can only be happy because they are showing the movie in there, but I don't have the money if they don't pay.
Yeah, no, I get that. Is it difficult in Brazil to get funding for your films?
Yes. As I was saying, the politics for funding in movies, there was a good situation happening, but the government that we have now, they destroy everything. So I believe that this government ends this year. So I believe things will get better, but I don't know, because the last 4 years was a real nightmare. So the next 4 years will be reconstruction. So I don't know, but so there is this politics for funding, but I don't use that all the time. I get the money wherever I can get. So I always trying to get money from all sources that I can get. These sources can be small producers that will give me little amounts of money, or, well, anything, crowdfunding campaigns, the money from my pocket, from my work. So when I find little amounts of money, I make cheap movies. If I get more money, I can think more about special effects and more planned things. I have lots and lots of unfinished material at home. So always when getting the money, it's very hard. When this process it's becoming very slow, I usually lost my patience and decide to make a movie with less money, using some of the material that I already have at home. So it's always a roller coaster with the money, with the plans. Well, independent cinema, you always you have to try everything you can to get money. If you don't get a good amount of money, I try to do it anyway. So maybe some movies you need a specific amount of money. So those movies I put in my pocket. But I'm always doing something. Because I can't, it's difficult to me not making a new movie. I'm always trying to make something new.
Well, it's because you're an artist first, so you have to keep creating your art.
Yes. It's like I said before, I always say that you need to, movies sometimes, they need to be simple as making a song. You make a song, you can make a song alone, or you can call your friends and create a song together. You always need to remember, it's important people remember that in the movies you can also make the things like that. Movies are also simple. You can fight for bigger budgets, that's important, but you need to remember that making movies it's not a monster. It's not an impossible thing. It's possible. It's like forming a band. It's like creating music. It's like drawing. You can make a movie with nothing. And for me, it's important to fight for both things. To fight for bigger budgets and to fight for making the movies the way I want, anytime I want, with no money.
Mm-hmm.
It's art. It's life.
Mm-hmm. So in Pazucus, what did you use for the ooze and the blood effects? Like what materials?
Oh, for the blood, it's a very easy recipe. I don't know if I know to. I'm not sure if I can say in English the ingredients.
Mm.
I don't remember the name of everything. I don't remember the name in English, but it's something very, very easy, and you can eat if you want the blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's not toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Something. It's 3 elements.
Like cornstarch.
It's very, very easy. It's all food. You make the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember how to say the name of those food ingredients in English. But it's very simple. I can translate later and send it to you.
Yeah.
It's a recipe that it's very common. I don't remember who discovered first, but I think it's a filmmaker from São Paulo, André Capel.
Mm.
He developed this combination of food, and everyone uses now, and it's the best. It's very easy. Don't make stains in your shirts. It's not toxic. It's very nice. And well, in Pazucus we have lots of different stuff. The thirds, the shitting.
Yeah, I was interested in what they are.
Yes. Well, I don't remember all the ingredients, but I remember there is cardboards. It's very simple too, and that one is not. It's not food.
Mm.
It's latex, cardboard. It's very simple too. I believe the Alexandre Brunoro, the guy who did the special effects, he also came from the punk hardcore scene, so he likes to improvise and create simple and new stuff for the special effects. So he's always improvising. In the 90s, in the Barstorff movies, they use it. Sometimes they use it real meat. Sometimes they use it different kinds of food, or even toxic materials. But as the years, we find the right materials, I believe, at the moment, to make things more comfortable for everyone and more easy to make it too.
Are you? By the way, do you have your phone by your mic? I keep hearing a vibration. Or do you have something by your mic?
Yes, yeah, I'm hearing too. Let me see it. Oh, I think you stop now.
Okay. Oh, it's fine. I just hear it every once in a while.
Every messaging, I don't know where that is coming.
Oh yeah.
The phone was.
That's fine. Are you planning on releasing all your shorts on a DVD?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm late on doing that. It was in my plans for actually, I don't know, 3 years ago, but I didn't have the time. But yes, I want to make something like 2005, 2020, putting all the short movies in the same release. I need to do that because lots of the movies that I did 2009 and 2011, they are lost in the world. You can find some on Vimeo, other on YouTube, or in some extra of other releases of someone. But a reunion of everything, I need to make it. It's on my plans.
Yeah.
I didn't release that in the last year because I was doing the Pazucus release. Now I'm working on other stuff, so I keep pushing that for the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to solve that. I need to make a good DVD release with the shorts that I made it in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about...
My plan is to make that in DVD and Blu-ray also.
Oh, cool.
I need something like 2 or 3 weeks to organize the material, and it's done.
Yeah.
But sometimes those things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do something, you want those 3 weeks, and when you see it, 5 years passed. So
yeah, I get that.
I hate that.
Have you had any thoughts about making a full feature animation?
Yes, but not in the near future, I believe. Well, it's not easy to make animation feature, so I believe I really will need some good funding to make a project like that. But a few years ago, I was working on the remake of a Japanese movie called, I think in the US, the English name for the movie, it's Milo, the Adventures of Milo and Otis.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, Milo
It's
and
a
Otis.
dog and a cat.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a full soundtrack thinking about this movie. I recorded all the sound, all the narrations and stuff with my voice. So I already have that, the full soundtrack and all the voices. And it was my plan to remake the movie in a full animation feature. Recreating the original movie. It's not animation, right? It's a live action movie with cats and dogs. So my plan was to draw everything. I began to make that in 2012. I work on those soundtracks and audios for some months, and I work a little in the drawings, but it was lots and lots of work. So when I had the chance, I jumped to other projects, and I didn't come back to this.
Yeah.
But I would love to finish this because I love the movie. I love the soundtracks that we did, and I love the idea to recreate this movie with my drawings.
Yeah.
I don't know. If someone who is watching this wants to produce this movie, talk to me.
Fans of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if the fans of the movie will enjoy what I'm going to do with it. Maybe they think that I'm going to destroy it. I don't know.
That's funny. What is your involvement in the art community in Brazil?
Well, first of all, I like to work with artists. So everyone in any movie of mine, they are artists from the most different areas. There are musicians, there are painters, there are other filmmakers. So I always involved with anyone, and I love to work with artists' friends. I have some experiences with art galleries, expositions of my drawings. Sometimes they show my movies and some of the drawings. Sometimes the musics too. But it's not every year. It's something like a roller coasters also. Sometimes there's lots of those kind of stuff happening, and sometimes when I realize I am 3 years far from art galleries or stuff like that. My favorite place to be, I think it's underground culture in general. So I like independent cinemas. I like places of underground music. I like collective groups of independent creators and artists and people. So sometimes the word of mainstream art galleries, those kind of stuff, it's not very interesting to me. I prefer exposition of fanzines and something more free, more human. I don't know. Sometimes art galleries are very. I don't like that mood. Yeah, some movie festivals are the same. People are too
into themselves. Yeah.
I like the independent people, the crazy, the crazy people. So.
So, are there two versions?
I don't like the red carpet so much as I like a place where I can dance and scream. Yeah.
No, I get that. So, are there two versions of Arambaba?
Oh, yes. This is very crazy because there's this version with more normal, we can say. The image.
No filters. Not a lot of filters.
Yeah. The other version, it's full of filters. It's something like we began to throw those filters in the movie. I began to throw those filters. I showed to Peter, and he said, "Oh, nice." And last year, I rewatched the movie, and when I was rewatching, I think, "Oh my God, why we did that? Why we put all those filters? Why we?" Yeah, and how how Peter find that normal too. I put all those filters in there. I showed to him. He said, "Oh, nice, nice." And I don't know. There is not a very rational explanation for that. We just decide to play with colors and textures.
Yeah,
and we did.
It was definitely a pretty drastic difference in some scenes, especially with all white in some of the aspects. And like, there's definitely some pretty like very high exposure type stuff.
Yes. Well, we were playing with the light, with everything. We were kind of destroying the movie in some way, but having fun with that.
So which version do you prefer now?
I think today I prefer the version without the filters. But when we did, I was excited with the version with the filters. It's just like I watched this in the last year, and I get confused why we did that. So, but I believe that the DVD, it has the version with the filters, right?
Oh yeah, it does. And that's the thing is because I have the one without the filters, but it doesn't have the subtitles. But the one with the filters has the subtitles. So it's either I get the filters, but so it's like I can't have. So I need a non-filtered version with subtitles.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain why the version without filters doesn't have subtitles.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, the other one I have is a digital version. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I found it digitally, so that's where the other version. Yeah,
that's what I'm going to say. That version without the filters, you probably get or with someone or on the internet.
Yeah, that was the digital one.
Exactly, official version. Something that's probably better someday send it to some people and also put it in the internet. So, but when he did that, he probably didn't worry about the subtitles. So we need to release it with with no filters and subtitles. Yes.
So with Flaming Nipples, how long did you shoot with that rabbit corpse?
3 days.
Oh. How'd it look towards the end? Did it, like, obviously it was like started deteriorating probably pretty quickly, or?
Yes. It was very difficult. We had to work very fast, of course. And I had a refrigerator, so when we were not filming, they were in the ice. In some scenes of the movie, you can see that the rabbits are frozen. They are walking, but they are frozen. Those scenes are probably the first in the morning. So because we get the rabbits from the fridge and start to filming right away. The fact that they were frozen, it was a good thing because of the smell.
Oh yeah.
And we also had poison for flies that we keep putting in the rabbits. So they had a smell of something between flowers and lemon. Because it was the smell of the poison. That poison, it helps in the decomposing. But also, if you watch the movie, you can see the belly growing. I believe there's something growing in there.
It's probably rigor mortis, or the whole puffing is like they get gassy essentially.
Yeah. I believe it's that.
Yeah.
That was a worry also, because lots of people that were there, we were afraid that the rabbits could explode at any time. So, but it was a very unique, fun, and difficult experience to make this movie. It's all we did that in a garage with the fake scenario painted, and I like very much of the visuals. It's very artsy in his own way, in his own bizarre way.
Is the name a reference to John Smith's Flaming Creatures?
Yes. I love Flaming Creatures, and of course, that the name in Portuguese came first. It's Mamilos em Chamas. It's also, it sounds very, very good in Portuguese. For everyone that listens that name, whoa, Mamilos em Chamas, I need to see that. So to create the English title, it was the first thing that came into my mind, Flaming Nipples, because of the movie of Jack Smith. There's also something a very huge influence for Flaming Nipples, the movie, and it is the Fellini movies, especially in English. It's I believe it is a City of Woman, because in Italian I think it's Città delle Donne. In Portuguese, Cidade das Mulheres. I believe in English it must be City of Woman. But I was trying to make a strange version of that movie from Fellini. And also thinking about lots of Brazilian movies from the 80s. From Boca do Lixo. Boca do Lixo, it's a place in São Paulo. It was some kind of Hollywood, independent Hollywood of genre cinema. They did porn movies, horror movies, westerns, all those movies in that neighborhood. So I am thinking about lots of those movies as I'm writing and filming Flaming Nipples. But the title, the English title, it's totally directly
from Jack Smith,
to Jack Smith. Yeah.
No, he's great. I have a collection of a lot of his shorts and things that he came out with. I love his colors and everything that he uses, because he's definitely like a photographer first and then got into film, but just the richness of the colors is crazy.
I have there's a movie of Jack Smith called Normal Love. Did you saw that? I believe for several years Jack Smith took the unfinished movie in parties.
Yeah, he wouldn't finish anything because he had such issues with Flaming Creatures that he refused to do another or finish anything. So he just would tour with it and do the music, and no, I appreciated him, for all that, and especially the way that he died.
Similar movie called Cleopatra 2,
Oh, okay.
Tyranny of Desire.
Yeah, actually, I really want to see that one. I saw the trailer for it. It looked really, really
Saw the
cool.
trailer?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a lot of the spirit
Mhm.
of Normal Love of Jack Smith.
Mhm.
The jury. And we also did that because we didn't had the time to finish yet. But we also did that. We took the unfinished movie to parties, and it's always fun
Mhm. That's
to
cool.
show the images.
Were you involved in the zombie design in Zombio?
In the design, no. It's especially the same guy who did the effects for Pazucus, the thirds, the bloods, the vomiting.
Mhm.
He did the main concept of the zombies in Zombie 2. It's him, and there was a very small crew of people working on the zombies. There are 3 or 4 people.
Mhm.
Very improvised too,
Mhm.
but one of the directions for making that it was the zombies need to be colorful.
Mhm. No, they're very
So
unique.
Romero,
You know, very unique. Obviously, like a Lucio Fulci, like tribute, but like definitely making it your own by just adding so much ooze and pus and just
yeah,
nastiness on top.
yeah, there's lots of colors also
Mhm.
on purpose. Oh, let's put lots of green and pink and mixed together. So yeah, they are beautiful. They look like ice cream sometimes.
Mhm. How many of the custom Good Morning Carlos did you make? Those little like art cards.
Sorry,
Or
like
how many units did you make of that Good Morning Carlos? Because you said you made all those custom for everybody. You know, where you made their name and it says Good Morning. Like for me, it says Good Morning Christian. You know, how many did you end up making of those?
oh yeah, yes. Oh, I don't know, lots, because there's the thing with the vomit bags,
Yeah.
right? We did 600 vomit bags with silk screen, but only 300 we did with the two silk screen, the
Mhm.
complete vomit bag.
Mhm.
The other 300, I only put the name of the movie, and I always draw. Then I draw the faces of the people on the vomit bag. I love that.
Mhm.
And I begin to make those drawings also in a paper. But I don't know how many I did. I tried to to take photos and scan them. So, but I believe that I don't have all of them. Probably there's one or another that I didn't have the chance maybe of to make a register,
Mhm.
and only the people who has it at home,
Mhm.
they have it. So, but I did a lot. Uh, since I did the movie, I doing that. So there's a lot.
Mhm.
I love to make them. Yeah,
Um.
and I love to make the vomit bags.
Yeah. No, the vomit bags are cool. It was a nice touch. Did you make Good Morning Carlos with Pazucus in mind?
Yes, of course. We shoot it all together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a producer invited me for he pays me for to deliver a short movie. 15 minutes. And he gave me lots of freedom. He gave me some directions of what he wanted. It was a project mixing arts with horror. He wanted a director who liked horror movies and art, who mixed both things. So he chose me, and all I needed to deliver for him was 15 minutes. But I write Pazucus. And Pazucus, it was only Pazucus, actually. Good Morning Carlos doesn't have a script, his own script. I shot it everything, and only later I chose it what I wanted to make for Good Morning Carlos. The only thing that I had in mind was that the moment where we are thinking about possession. I wanted that this short movie, Good Morning Carlos, the main thing in the movie needed to be that moment. If that moment took 12 minutes in the movie, I only used the other 3 minutes for the other stuff. So it was my main obsession for the short. I believe that sequence, it has something like 7 minutes. So 15 minutes. It's 7 minutes of possession, and the other 8 minutes for the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, later, when you saw Pazucus, you understand better what is happening. And he creates a little the same images. I didn't repeat too much the same images. I tried to use different footages. When I repeat it, I use it in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very interesting experience to rethink the images that I already use in the short.
Yeah. What genre would you classify your band?
Oh, I don't know. I have several musical projects, but there is that band, Os Legais, that we began to play in 1996, and it lasts forever. If someone invite me to play, we go. But it's very difficult to get shows, to get gigs, because you saw the documentary Ship of Madness. You saw that movie?
I don't think so. No.
It is in that physical, the double addiction of Pazucus.
Oh, okay.
It is on disc 2.
Oh, okay. I think I did. Yeah. No, is that the one where you went to different shows and different band shows and stuff?
No. This is Texas Carlos Massacre.
Oh, yeah. I did see both of those because I watched both to kind of prepare. Yeah.
Oh, nice. It is the movie that has Roger Corman eating ice cream, and it is about the making of Pazucus.
Yeah, and you have an interview with Stephen Barrow in it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Stephen Barrow, it is on Texas Carlos Massacre.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I remember the Ship of Madness, this movie, because there is my band playing live in that movie with Richard Stanley, the director of Hardware and Dust Devil.
Mm-hmm. That was when we had a bunch of styrofoam issues, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's difficult to find gigs for our band because of the styrofoam.
Mm-hmm.
We throw this in the audience in everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was always like that since the 90s. In the 90s, we find a place, a very special place, some kind of CBGB from our town that place allowed that.
Mm.
They are always open for us to do the show. So we always were throwing garbage in the audience, lots of styrofoam, and that place was happy with that. But it was one of the only places in the world that was happy with that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's difficult to play and to make gigs, and it's a lot of work too. So I also don't run after this so often, mm-hmm. because it's very demands a lot. But I believe you can't. Actually, in the US, they created a very good term for what we do. I was going to say that we make anti-music, but we don't make the same type of anti-music that Merzbow, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So in the US, there was a music researcher that creates a term called outsider music. He was thinking about groups like the Shags from the 60s, Wesley Willis, even Captain Beefheart.
Yeah, and some of his more crazier stuff.
Yeah, usually it's people who don't know what they're doing, mm-hmm. but they do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Music,
like Jean-Louis Coutts or Jean-Louis Coutts, whatever his name is.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like that. At the same time, I don't know if what we do, it's totally classified as outsider music, because with the years we get more conscious of what we're doing. So it's a little different from what they call outsider music, because usually who does that, it's very naive.
Mm.
We are naive in some ways. We make music without knowing how to play, but I am conscious of what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. Most part of the time, I'm reading about it, I'm learning. So I'm not learning how to play, but
how to fuck around with sounds.
About that word, about who show up before, and so I'm not innocent anymore. Mm-hmm. In that kind of music. So, but it's for sure very improvised and annoying for certain people. It's provoking. Mm-hmm. We are provoking the other musicians. We are provoking the audience with the styrofoam, the garbage. We are making sometimes annoying things to provoke the brain of the audience. Yeah. Everything.
Well, rather trash than like
the
Gigi Allen
lyrics,
shit or something.
yes, yeah, something. Gigi Allen, it's also floating in that modus operandi. It's also in there. I did a movie festival in 2003 for the name was 10 Years Without Gigi Allen.
Oh, yeah, I saw that as a list.
Yeah. And it was my chance to actually to make a festival of transgression cinema. So we used the Gigi Allen as a starting point, and I showed the movies of John Waters, Richard Kern, Zoma Kavejev, Jorg Butterate, a full week with the most aggressive movies that I could show at that moment, including the documentary about Gigi Allen, Hated.
Hated, yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I love all that stuff. We did a whole extreme music episode, and we went into Gigi, but also like Kettle Cadaver and just different guys that just do some crazy type music stuff. But yeah, I love all that. The artists that are willing to go there.
There's one more thing about our music and our shows. That are the clothing. We used paper, cardboards. We were everyone made of garbage, without faces also, usually. And with the passing of years, we began to use also pornography. So we put pornographic magazines, the whole body, playing with Richard Stanley. I remember we gave him 3 options of clothing. There was porn magazines, sometimes gay porn, because we like to put penises in the whole body. It was more aggressive that way. Fishing magazines with fish, and religious magazines with images of Jesus and stuff like that. Richard Stanley used a little of the 3. He put a little of Jesus, some penises, some fish. So
Jesus is a gay fish?
Yeah. Yeah, it was always a challenge to do that, and always fun also.
Yeah.
Sometimes annoying to people, and people don't understand. People get angry. It's fun.
That's funny.
It's more difficult now to find porn magazines.
Oh, I
because those magazines it's everything on internet.
Yeah, you end up paying all this vintage.
I buy the magazines on the city that we are playing. I remember that show with Richard Stanley was very difficult to find.
Yeah, because it used to be just like gas stations, anything. Maybe like a little Barnes & Noble might have, condoms. But now it's really difficult. Because now Playboy doesn't even show nudity, so it's like a lot of the magazines are even just out of business.
Of course, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
How many bands?
The places who sell that, they are finishing too.
Yeah.
They are closing. So.
It's a dying art. How many bands have you done music videos for?
Not too many, I believe. Let me think. Now, 2022, I did a new album. It's called Gurcius and His Week of Wonders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a music project with that guy that I was talking, who did the soundtrack of Pazucus, Rossetti. And we did music videos for all the songs. There's one more video that I didn't put on the internet, but I'm gonna do it in the next few days. So I did a music video for a thrash metal band from Uruguay called Rotten State in 2012. I did a music video for a band called Mechanics, animation video, very, very nice. And I did more. Maybe 4 or 5 music videos. I want to do more. I love music videos. I think we were talking about influences. I grew up in the 90s, end of the 80s. So I grew up watching music videos.
Me too.
Yes, and this is an influence in the movies, for sure. Even those filmmakers I talk about, Richard Kern is a good example. He did lots of music videos in the 90s.
And you're mentioning Linda Lynch, and Henry Rollins has acted in a few of her stuff, and so there's definitely a lot of musicians involved in that stuff.
Yes, yeah, exactly. This is influence to me too. That thing that you call your friends, your friends are musicians, and they are there. I love it. I love that movie with. Actually, there is 2 movies with Lydia Lunch and Henry Rollins.
Yeah, but it's a different director. I have it. It's part of the Bizarre, yes. Mondo Bizarro, the same director that did Mondo Bizarro, right? I think. I have it over here. I almost want to grab it, but I'm not going to. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, one of the movies, it's a movie that they film in Netherlands. And it is a female director, Babeth Mondini. I met her when I was in the Rotterdam Festival. She was there with Lydia Lunch, because Lydia Lunch was in there playing and showing the Beth B documentary. So she was there too.
That's cool. Yeah, no, it's interesting seeing Henry Rollins in a sex scene. I'm gonna have to say. I mean, I don't think he would do these roles again. But
yes,
but he was definitely like that young teenager willing to do anything back then type mentality.
Yes, yeah, it's fucking cool to see him. I believe he didn't. I believe the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So will there be a Pazucus 2?
I have a script. It's a very different script. It goes to another direction. I believe, if I can send some tip, I don't know, about a movie, it has the spirit of Straight to Hell from Alex Cox. Do you remember that movie?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's a wonderful movie. It has Joe Strummer in the cast from The Clash.
Oh, that's funny, because that's the song I was about to say, because that's the song Straight to Hellboy.
Yes,
I was like, that's a Clash song.
The name of the movie, it's inspired on.
I never knew that came from that, because I know that song because it's the whole MIA's beginning song that MIA basically stole from or
yes yeah, that's right, yeah. And it's not a Straight to Hell. It's something like a Western. Pazucus 2 it's not a Western, but there's something in that movie that I would love to recreate in the mood of the movie.
Ever heard the movie?
I would love to do it. It's very funny. Almost all the characters are in there again, but they are doing different stuff. The Doctor, it's not obsessed by Carlos anymore. He's doing other stuff. Carlos, it's on another situation. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's very different. It's also violent and disgusting. Everything very funny also. But very different. I hope I can make that movie. It would be very fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know when, and I don't have planned to. It's not a thing that I plan to make it right away. I want to make different stuff before I get back to this. But it's on my mind, and it has a script. So.
Well, it seems exciting. Will you be working with Peter again?
Oh, always. Since I am in the beginning, I was living in the south of Brazil. I was living near from him. So in 2011, I moved to Rio de Janeiro. 2013, I edited Zombie 2 with him in Rio de Janeiro. But he did lots of short movies since 2013. Those, I think I edited one or two, but most of them he edited in south of Brazil with other friends. But we are always doing something. At the moment, I doing the subtitles for a DVD release in the US that will happen probably at the beginning of 2023. They are going to release something like a box of his movies. There's lots of movies that we never put subtitles and release it, even in here in Brazil. So now he is releasing. And Peter did two books during the last years. I don't know if you saw those books. They are in Portuguese, unfortunately. I keep saying to him, translate this to English.
There's apps you can just read pages and stuff though. So if people really want to pick it up, they can and still read it.
Yeah. For someone who doesn't read Portuguese, both books they have lots of photos, but he needs to make an English version of the books because they are incredible. But he's thinking about it. But I worked in those books too, with photo montages and stuff like that. So we are always doing something together. It's a partnership that never stopped.
Are there any other Brazilian horror directors you recommend?
Horror directors?
Yeah, like extreme horror Brazilian directors.
Well, of course, Rodrigo Aragão. Did you know his movies? Do you know his movies?
Maybe. Like I guess once I hear some of the names, like I see the name versus hearing it, and then I'm like, oh yeah. And you start mentioning it. So
yeah, I tried to remember the name in English for them. So Night of the Chupacabra, I believe it's the name in English. This one, it has Barstorff in the acting. Dark Sea.
Yeah, a lot of the, I saw some of these, and I saw you had the trailers for them. I'm like, I want to see all these.
Yes, Rodrigo, he did movies with very good budgets, so he get screenings in cities. He gets distribution in Japan, Netherlands, I believe he is one of the names of people discover fast from splatter filmmakers from Brazil. But there's a lot of other interesting directors. There's a new director, very young, called Matheus Marchetti. He makes vampire movies. He has very strong influences of filmmakers like Jean Rollin, Jesus Franco.
Oh, I love Jess Franco.
Yes, Jess Franco. And he makes some kind of... he is queer Jess Franco.
Mm.
It's very, very interesting. And he makes vampire movies. He has an incredible relationship with opera. And he makes his own soundtracks, original soundtracks, and they are opera soundtracks. This is and it's very good. They are professionals of opera. So he's very unique. He's making movies for, I believe, less than 10 years. But he has already 2 features and I believe 2 or 3 shorts. And they are all incredible. Let me think. More filmmakers. There's a lot. Well, there's the filmmakers who did a werewolf movie, a very beautiful werewolf movie. But this is not a especially violent movie. I believe the title in English is The Good Manners. It's a werewolf movie, but it's a child werewolf. So I believe it has some gore, but
not over the top.
Not over the top. It's a tender movie. It's a beautiful movie, but it's incredible. And the 2 directors who did that, Juliana Rojas and Marco Dutra, they had more movies. They are all very interesting, but they are more centered and they are not splatter, gore, violent movies. They are more sober movies, but they are all very good. And there are lots of filmmakers making those kind of movies now in Brazil. Sober movies, very well constructed, and with good budgets too. But thinking about ancient decades, in the 80s we have Ivan Cardoso. Maybe you know him because Something Weird released some of his movies in the 90s in VHS. But I worked with him for 10 years. We did some movies together. I don't know if you saw those movies. They are very good. We did a feature called Orgy of the Devil. In a movie with Roger Corman called Drops of Corman. Drops of Corman got me too crazy. I was in Rotterdam because of those 2 movies, Orgy of the Devil and Drops of Corman, 2015 and 2020. They are co-directed, me and Ivan Cardoso. And in the 70s, he did independent movies in Super 8, very in the mood of the Jack Smith, John Waters movies. In the 80s, he did vampire movies, mummy movies. He always gets the universal monsters, Frankenstein, the The Mummy, Dracula, and transform into Brazilian things.
Mm-hmm.
In the 2000s, we began to make movies together, and we did very interesting experiments together. In the beginning of the 90s, there is a director called Fauzi Mansour. There is a long story in the political situation in Brazil that happened in the beginning of the 90s, but it's something very close to what's happening here now. They kind of destroyed the Brazilian cinema. So everyone who were making movies and going well in the 80s had to reinvent themselves in the 90s. And lots of filmmakers give up or begin to make works in publicity or begin to film in VHS. Everyone had to choose a different path. There's only a few filmmakers that continued making movies in 35 millimeters and stuff like that. And there's this filmmaker, Fauzi Mansour. He decided to make movies in English, very aggressive and gore movies. Those movies were distributed outside Brazil. It's Ritual of Death and Satanic Attraction. I don't know if you saw those.
Mm-hmm.
They are very interesting. Very bloody, very aggressive. They are very trashy. Também, in some ways, they have lots of problems. Mm-hmm. Technical problems, and because I already saw lots of people outside Brazil talking about those movies, and they are always saying, "Oh my God, this is one of the worst movies that I saw in my life." But I
they have a certain type of charm, though. I mean, I get it. I love trashy, sleazy, like, people that typically think they're complete crap. I'm like, I love this.
So. Yeah. Some people call those movies crap. I love them.
Yeah,
they are incredible. I believe they are kind of difficult to find because they didn't have a
big release.
No one released them again, but you can find it. I know that it's there. You can find it. Ritual of Death, Satanic Attraction. And well, I'm being unfair because there's so many people making nice movies in Brazil, and now making movies now and in the past too. But when we finish this, I probably lots of names will come in my mind.
Yeah.
But another movie that I love, it's not exactly a horror movie or even a splatter movie. It's a movie called wholesome. It's a name, wholesome. It's a science fiction movie. Very, very, very unique. Mm-hmm. Very unique. Made by this movie, it's from 2020. The people who did it, I'm very proud to say that they have influenced by my movies, and even the way we dress in my band with garbage. Mm-hmm. They use that in their movie. And it's one of the most craziest independent movies that I saw in all my life. I distribute that movie. I have that in my website. It's incredible. It has a second title also. It's wholesome, where the sun has no mercy. Yeah. It's a great movie.
So,
and lots of people making shorts also. That there was a filmmaker at the beginning of the 2000s that began to make movies inspired by the Peter Baersdorf movies. Fernando Hick. He did Dead Fetus. Maybe you saw that one.
not
And,
Dead Fetus.
and later he directed some documentaries about one of the biggest hardcore metal bands in Brazil. It's Ratos de Porão. I don't know if you know them. Oh, it's great. And Fernando did a documentary about them. Fernando stopped doing gore movies. He began to make other stuff. So, but in the beginning of the 2000s, he was a very strong name. And we have lots of filmmakers. Most of them are doing short movies, but there are more. There are, let me think, Paulo Biscaya. He makes horror movies mixed with comedy. I need to think more. They are all my friends, so I feel bad not to remember all of the names of my friends that are making movies right now.
Right.
But there's a lot.
Well, it's a good thing, you know. It's a rich community.
Yeah. Yes.
So are you familiar with like movies like Barf Bunny or anything from Lucifer Valentine, since you're into puke films?
Yes. Lucifer Valentine, that one.
Like Slaughter Vomit Dolls, Regurgitated Sacrifice.
Yes. They make very cute covers.
Yeah.
I didn't saw all of them. I remember that for some time, when I did Flaming Nipples, 2008, between 2008 to 2013, for some time I wasn't watching the most extreme gore movies that people were doing at that moment. But later, I began to feel more comfortable to watch them again. So I began to watch all the movies that I didn't have the chance to watch when they were released, just like a Serbian movie. I believe I watched the Serbian movie maybe 2 years ago. I didn't saw the movie when it came out. I saw the movie after I met Stephen Byron, for example. So I don't remember if I saw Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, but I for sure watched because I believe there are maybe 3. It's a trilogy, right?
Well, there's but then there's added to the trilogy. So because there's Angela's Chapter and there's technically VG4, which is like Black Nazi Wizard something, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot a very important name here from Brazil, Denison Ramalho. He's the guy who did a movie called Ninjas, short movie. One of the most frightening movies that I ever saw in my life. And he co-directed the last feature of Coffin Joe.
Oh, okay.
Embodiment of Evil. So Denison, he took a very long time between each movie he makes because he really worked very hard to make those movies very perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So he had one picture. What's the name in English? The Dead Don't Talk, I believe. Something like that. No. I believe in, because the movie they released it in the US, but I don't remember the name now. I think in Portuguese, if you translate direct to English, it's something like that. The Dead Don't Talk. But I believe they created other name, the coroner, something like that.
Interesting.
Because it's about a coroner who speaks with the dead. It's very.
That's interesting. I'll just check that out. So where are you on putting out Vayatia Arbaya? Is that how it's right? It's
Viati Arabiati.
Oh, that's it is. Sorry. Yeah, I completely butchered that.
Yes. You were searching about that too. Well, this is a project that I did in parallel with Pazucus. When I get the chance to get some funding, I had that choice. I can make Viati Arabiati or I can make Pazucus. But for me, it was obvious that because of Good Morning Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
I did Good Morning Carlos. The movie goes very, very well in festivals, everything. So, of course, now I will going to make Pazucus. So, I push Viati Arabiati to the future. I hope to begin to work to end this movie now in the next months. But it's also one of those projects that several times other projects push him to other moments.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of the movies that I really want to deliver to the world more faster as I can, because I love the movie very much. It also had that mood that Pazuco has with several. It's also a mix of cinematic universes.
Mm-hmm.
So in there you will find everything, just like Pazucos, but at the same time it's very different of Pazucos. It's not so centered on eschatology. Probably it's more crazier than Pazucos, because in some aspects it's more weird. It's more maybe difficult, but it doesn't have that. It doesn't have a vomit. It has a little of violence and blood, of course, lots of nudity, but
no shitting
maybe
and puking.
is less disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
So I also curious about which path the movie will find, because it's a different movie. I don't know what people who love Good Morning Carlos and Pazucos, for example, will think about it. I think who love those both movies will like that one too, but it's for sure different. It's other way. It's very close from that cinema from the 70s that I was talking about in Brazil. It's very hysterical, there's fire in everyone. It's something like, well, Pazucus always has that. It has a lot of Andrew Zulawski. It has a lot of John Waters. It's very hysterical. It's very fun. It's a gangster movie with faunos, lots of nudity, crazy, weird moments. It's a movie more difficult to finish than Pazucco it was, because it's too much more complex, the editing.
Yeah.
The editing is very crazy. And for lots of stuff, I don't have the answer yet. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with the material, but I will find the answers for everything. I hope to begin to work in that movie maybe September or October now, to begin editing, to begin to find funding for finishing, because I need money. I tried to get the funding on an international project last year, a funding project. I don't remember which country, Sweden, I believe, in Europe. But they didn't give me the money, so I need to keep trying.
Yeah.
And if no one give me the money, I will finish the movie with my own time and ways, which is what I'm doing all the time, actually.
Yeah.
When someone puts money, I can make the process more faster.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
So so it's just time constraint.
I will do it.
Yeah. Are there any other new projects?
Sometimes it's very slow because of money, especially. More than time.
Yeah. Are there any other new projects that you're kind of working on, or is that kind of the next one?
I want that movie. I want Viata Rabiati. It's my passion project for the moment. But maybe there is a documentary that I want to do about a musician. It's a big interview that I did with him, a musician from Brazil of psychedelic music from the 90s, ending of the 80s. His name is Plato Dvorak. There is this interview. I want to transform this interview in a movie. Maybe I jump to that too. And there's a movie that we almost begin filming in 2020. We stopped the planning because of the pandemic. But there's a movie called, let me remember the name in English, Carnival of the Formed Musicians. I can make that movie both ways. I can make this movie with a little amount of money or with a bigger budget. I want to make with a bigger budget because it's a very special project. Just like I don't know, Good Morning Carlos. It's very focused on movies like Possession or Cat in the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
This movie, it's my chance to think about Teru Ishii, the Japanese director,
Mm-hmm.
and especially horror of malformed men. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you saw that one.
I know you were talking before about Pinocchio 964, and you were kind of getting into that director. I like all that stop motion cyberpunk stuff. It's all cool.
Yeah, yeah. Teru Ishii, he is from the 60s. And I believe he did the most aggressive movies in the whole world, because I believe there's any other filmmaker in the world in any decade who offend me so much as Teru Ishii in several movies of him. So he made Yakuza movies, horror movies also, but any movie that he did, they are very, very, very violent and sometimes disgusting. So I love him. And Carnival of Deformed Musicians, it's it's a very special script. It talks about movies. It talks about music lots. It's centered on music. It's a movie. I'm thinking about movies like Fitzcarraldo of Werner Herzog. I'm thinking about The Island of Dr. Moreau. I wanna make this movie so bad. So, but I need some kind of funding, and I want to transform that movie in a comic book also. So probably the comic book we will release first. I was trying to include Udo Kier in the project, the German actor. He did a Brazilian movie in Bacurau in 2019. I met him and I begin to talk about that. But if I'm going to make this movie with him, I need money. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. But it's something in mind too. So this is a movie that I really want to make because I really love the script. If I make it probably, if everything goes right and well, it's already my favorite movie of my own movies. So I'm very anxious to make it. And it's our other projects too. That I am trying to get budgets to make it. Also, there is a movie about. Let me remember the name in English also. It's a roller derby against the mental sewer. I believe is this, and it's a movie about roller derby, the sport, and it is a monster movie, very centered in Paul Verhoeven, in the cinema of Paul Verhoeven, especially the melted guy in RoboCop, those long fingers. We created a design of monster thinking about that, and it's a very fun movie also. But this movie I need a big budget, so I don't know. I need government money or international money. I can't make this movie with small producers with money of friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So this script probably will see it in a comic book first, because I like that idea of transforming some scripts in comic books.
Yeah. It's almost like you're taking it
And
from
I
the
have
storyboard.
a good, yeah, and I have a good partnership with. This is something very, very interesting happening here in Brazil. The underground comics. There is a whole new generation of people doing underground comics, and they are all fucking awesome. They are incredible. So, and it's not one or two. I don't know, 20 people doing incredible stuff. So I want to see my scripts in the hands of those people. I think it will be a very good experience. The posters of Pazucus, Texas Carlos, they are from those artists that make comic books here in Brazil.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm out of questions. That was like basically the last one. But yeah, but thank you for this. I do appreciate you coming on, so and talking with me and everything. So.
Oh, so, thank you. Sorry for my bad English.
Oh no, you're perfect. Like, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I get confused with the words, forgot the order, but I hope I managed to say something useless, something, I don't know if important, or I don't know.
No,
I hope I say something.
No, it was good. It was good content, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, oh, great. And no, it's wonderful to talk with you. You are trying to make this interview for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm happy we finally get it. We make it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
and thanks for your support.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And I plan on getting more from you because, like I said, while doing this, putting this interview together, there was definitely some content. It was like, well, now I want to watch this. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up soon for some other stuff that I missed.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, anytime you want me here,
yeah,
just call me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, maybe even if a screening, I do movie screenings here and there. So we'll basically get the director watching the movie with me and basically just doing like a live commentary. Nice. We just, talk shit and just kind of have fun with it.
Wonderful.
So if you're ever interested, it'd be fun.
You can do that. Yeah. Just call me.
All right. Well, thank you.
And of course, also feel free if you had that chance on your place, in your city. If you had the chance to show my movies, Brazilian strange movies, in any place, in Olympia, everywhere, please feel free to do it also.
Okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. No, I try to definitely get all permission from anyone. I don't like to, share art without proper permission, but so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because it's always wonderful to. I like the experience of showing movies online too during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
But the best way of watching movies it's with other people around.
Yeah.
So I always happy when I know that someone is showing my movie in a cinema, in a bar.
I know we do movie nights at this one bar I've been interested in doing because I know this one guy does it, but he usually plays a little bit more mainstream horror, nothing like completely that's going to turn away business or any sort. But the place is not like one that's like shy to stuff like that. They have a big Baphomet, statue in one of their tables, so they're not anything prude of sorts, but I might pitch them some movies, and I think you'd be a good one that's not too out there.
Yeah, do that. It's always wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, thanks again.